my name's Jooles and this is my podcast, So Sweet Violet, all about my creative life. You can find me on Instagram, on Etsy, where I sell project bags and what else do I sell on there? Oh, Liberty Butterfly decorations and art canvases. It's a bit low on stock at the moment, but hopefully I'll get to build that up a bit. You can also find me, did I say Ravelry? Find me on Ravelry. And also on my blog, all places as So Sweet Violet. And on my blog, you'll find all the show notes for this episode and all my other episodes. Thank you for popping by. I really love it that you do. I've been feeling really lucky lately about my place in this lovely community, this sewing, crafty, creative community, and it's made my life so much richer. And if it wasn't for you, that wouldn't have happened. So thank you very much. Okay, what have I? Oh, okay. Today is the 2nd of August, and this is episode 19. Wow, I can't quite believe that. So, I haven't got a huge amount to show this week because it's just been 2 weeks since my last podcast, which is pretty good. It's what I'm aiming for. But actually, I don't seem to get much done in 2 weeks. Some people podcast every week and have lots of lovely things to show, so I think I really need to up my game here. In the making. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you, ouch, that was my knee, get comfy, is a pair of socks that I'm knitting. I've never made shorty socks before, and these are the How I Roll socks by Mara Catherine Briner, who is Orange Knits. So these are the ones, I think they are, oh gosh, I can't remember. Is it the Bay City Rollers? Possibly. Probably don't listen to me, I've probably got that wrong. But I know this designer had some other patterns out which were very similar to this, but this particular pattern is kind of featuring the whole faded thing that's going on at the moment, which I love. I know lots of people are saying they've had enough of it, but I can't get enough of it. I love it. I think it's such a pretty look. So this is what I've got to so far. And I'm using Knox Yarn Minis, which came as a little bundle. And I can show you the colours actually. I don't know the colour names, because it didn't actually say that on the packaging. These might be a bit messy, but we'll go with it, shall we? So these are the colours. I'm going to stand up and show you. So these are the colours. I hope you can see them. There. They're really beautiful. I love Danielle from Knox Yarns. Her colours are just beautiful. They're like watercolours, and they're also like fruity ice cream. They're just stunning. There we go. Ah, so pretty. And yes, so Danielle and I have decided to make these socks together. Where has my sock gone? Oh, it's on the floor. Let's push it back up again. So I started off with this colour, which is kind of pinks and violets and lavender. It's really beautiful. So that was the toe, and now I'm on to this colour, which actually I should know because I've actually knit a pair of socks out of this, but without looking, I don't know. But this has got green and pink. So basically it's very similar to this one, but this one's hasn't got the pink so much, but it's got a little bit of green, so it's really pretty. And I love how it's fading in. So I'm just doing alternate stripes for a little while. So started with this one, then I alternated the two colours for, I don't know, four stripes of each, I think, so 8 rows. You can see a little bit here where it's striped in, and then I go completely this number 2 colour, and so I'll knit a little way. I'm not measuring or anything, I'm just kind of going with it. I'm using Chalgu, I think they're red lace 2.25 for those, and that's a beautiful stitch marker from my lovely friend Rhonda. Here's Birdie Butterfly, who I always mention because I adore her. So I think they're going to be really pretty, and I haven't got any shorty socks at all. So I'm not sure how much I'll wear them, but I thought, give it a go. I might love them and I might want to knit every pair of sock shorties. So that's my first in the making. Did my normal whirlwind toes, if you were wondering. Oh, I love that pattern. The pattern, gosh, it's raining really hard. I love rain. It feels really cosy in here. I just also wanted to say that this whirlwind toe is not mine, not at all. It's by somebody called, well, I think his blog, maybe his Ravelry name is Yarmando, and I've linked it to lots of my project pages where I've used it in the socks. So yeah, it's such a brilliant toe. I really love it, and I was so happy because I watched Amber, who's Maker's Haven, who I love. It's her podcast, I think it was yesterday. Oh, it's such a nice podcast. And I'm so excited because I see she has been trying out the whirlwind toe. I can't recommend it highly enough. It is tricky in the beginning, but I can do it without the pattern easily now, and it's just lovely. So yes, that's my, don't know what I'm going to call them yet. My Knox socks, that's what they're going to be called. So Danielle and I are knitting those together, a little mini cowl between us, and she's so lovely. We're doing a swap as well, which is really exciting. But she's such a lovely person, and people poo-poo social media, don't they, all the time? I know lots of people who do, but I think it's if you... I know people use it for negative purposes sometimes, which is sad, but I think if you use it for what it's intended for, it's just wonderful. It's so enriching, and I feel like some of my best friends are spread all over the world, and that's just from social media and podcasts and blogs, and you get to know all these wonderful people, all of you, and that I wouldn't have known you before, and it's amazing. I'm so thankful for it. Anyway, just have a itchy nose. Just have a quick sip of coffee. You've seen this mug before. I adore this mug. This was a present from my best friend in the whole world who lives in Australia. And I hope I'm not boring you because I've said all this before in other podcasts, but the TMD stands for Truly, Madly, Deeply. That's how much we love each other. And underneath, let me drink. Always A, and her name is Angie. That's a really treasured mug. Okay, so I'm on to something very exciting now. Had I started this? I don't think I'd started this in my last podcast. No, I hadn't, because I was showing you the yarn, but it's my So Faded. I feel out of breath now. I just ran upstairs to get a coat hanger. Whew. I think I'm very unfit. Okay, so my So Faded, hadn't started it in my last podcast, so this is 2 weeks' work, which actually I'm pretty pleased with. So there we go. Oh gosh, oops, still having issues. Which way is which? I'm going to stand up so I can show you. I've just started fading in. You can see the first colour here, and then the second colour here. It's not too much difference between these two. And I've just started to fade in my third colour. Oh, I love it. I really, really adore it. Let's lay it on me. So I did have some issues with gauge. I used the recommended needle size to swatch, and I also washed and blocked it because I made that mistake with my breathing space. I really liked the fabric it made. It was just a really nice, wasn't too thin, wasn't too stiff. So what I decided to do was go up to my next size. I was almost in between two sizes anyway. Let's see, I can't remember what size I'm making. So I decided to go up to the 40-inch bust because my gauge was a bit tight and I'd rather have a bit more positive ease. I'm not really one for fitted jumpers because I'm quite self-conscious. And yes, so I have tried it on and it fits perfectly, actually. So I'm thrilled with that. So I'm using the needle size suggested, which is, I can read these ones because they're bigger needles, she says. 375. Oh, I love the garter stitch on the arm caps. That's a really nice feature. I'm a bit worried about picking up the stitches around here and doing the neckband because I've never done that before, and I think that could make or break. But I think I can do it. I think I can do that. So I'm loving it. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's such a lovely fabric, and this yarn is from Terry. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking in the camera. This yarn is from Terry, who is Fine Fish Yarns, and the top two colourways she did dye especially for me actually, which was really kind of her because I was struggling. I wanted to do a fade, but I was really struggling to know what colours, you know, to go to somebody's shop and they've only got a certain amount of colours, and picking some colours to make a fade is pretty hard. So she was so sweet and helped me. This is the colour I'm on at the moment. So pretty, isn't it? That's called Heartstrings. And then I'm going to be moving on to this colour, which is Cream Bun, which I really love the sound of cream bun. And so those two will be fading into each other. Oops. So pretty. So I'm very excited about that. And I've probably got it on a bigger cable than is, I think it'd be easier on a slightly smaller cable, but I wanted to try it on just to make sure everything was going to plan. So that's why it's on a bigger cable. I might reduce that and put it on the smaller one again just to make it easier to knit. But absolutely loving it large. I feel I'm getting quite addicted to knitting garments. I have another one in the plans too. So anyway, that is my second and last in the making. So that has taken most of my knitting time up actually. My back is quite a lot better, so I have been able to do a bit more sitting up knitting, which is preferable really. I had some treatment yesterday on it, which was quite painful, but I felt like it was really doing good. And my physio, who is my friend, and she takes my Pilates classes as well, she's given me some exercises to do, some of them every hour, which I'm not going to lie, that's quite hard. But I'm sticking to it because I like being busy. I like fitting lots in, and I find it very frustrating just having to lay down, and it's just annoying, isn't it really? So anything I can do to make myself better and stronger, I'm going to do it. So there we go. Oh, I didn't show you the bags that my projects are in. So this is such a gorgeous bag. Oops, one of my favourites. This bag is so beautiful, and it's from my friend Ali, who is jammy pudding. Ooh, sorry, I'm not meant to make you dizzy. Who is jammy pudding and custard. She's so lovely, and she made this bag for me. We did a swap. That's her label. Jammy pudding and custard. And how cute is that? Yes, so it's one of my favourite bags. I love it. And my other one was in a bit of a mash-up bag that I made. I made a baby quilt and I had some bits left over. It's a bit of a strange shape, but actually it works pretty well. So that's that. Let me have another little drink. It's lovely today. It's breezy and rainy and cool. It's lovely. It's my favourite weather. Well, I'll say that. I do change a lot. I showed last podcast that I was going to make the Blossom Shawl by Melody, who is Bee Mandarines. I did try. I cast on, but I think I found it hard because this shawl, you cast on the longest amount of stitches first, so you start along the bottom. I think it was something like 386 or something like that, and you go straight into a pattern. Well, with my track records and knitting lace, or any kind of knitted pattern, is not great. But going straight into it on 386 stitches, I did have some issues. I spent quite a long time on it, and I couldn't get my head around it. Anyway, I decided to scrap that for now, which is sad, but she's just brought out another shawl, which I think is called, is it Sugar Plum or something, which is so pretty. And I was a bit naughty last night because Gregoria Fibres, gosh, I can't remember her name. I think she's from Spain. She dyes the most beautiful yarn in lovely soft colours, all naturally dyed. Anyway, she is working in collaboration with Melody and has dyed some kits of yarn, like 3 skeins of DK yarn for this lovely shawl that Melody's just released. So I bought myself some. So hopefully when that arrives, I'm going to have a go at, I think it's called the Sugar Plum Shawl, but I can't be 100% on that. So that was a bit of fail and a bit sad because I did spend a long time on it with nothing to show. I still haven't started my Warm Springs bath mitt either, but no rush. It's no rush, is there? I feel just lately like I'm doing everything too fast. I'm not being mindful, and I feel like I'm rushing things to get them done and get on to the next thing. You know, there's so much to do in modern life, isn't there? And I've always got a list to kind of work through, and I feel like I'm not present. So I'm really trying to make the effort to slow down and enjoy everything I do, even if it's something really mundane like doing the laundry or something. I've been trying to be more present in my day, which might sound silly, but I don't want to be rushing through life because days go really quickly anyway, don't they? And so I'm just trying to be more mindful and just enjoy the small things because they just pass us by otherwise. And actually, talking about the small things, I got this idea from Danny, who is Little Bobbins, who I also love. She did, I think it's called 1 Second Every Day, and it's an app. I got it on my iPhone, and you just do a little video every day, and over the month, you have a little kind of a long video of 1 second all joined together. So I'll put it in at the end of this video, but I'm going to carry on doing it because it's really fun to look back and see all the little things you got up to. So yeah, that's really fun. So if you're interested, I'd really recommend it because it is fun and it does make you go through your day and think, oh, this is a nice moment, I'll just record this. It just makes you more aware. So I've loved doing that, and I shall carry on doing it. I think I missed 2 or 3 days, but some days aren't that exciting, are they really? And a couple of days, you'll see 2 pictures of my bed because I got to the end of the day and thought, oh no, I haven't done my video. So magical arrivals. Okay, maybe I have been a bit naughty. First up, I saw this on Instagram. Lovely Deb, who is Tink Hickman, she had purchased one of these gorgeous sock blanks. Let me show you this way round. Now I think you say that Moel View. Moel or Mole? Oh, well, there we go. Mole View yarn, and it's from Wales, I believe. And it's a botanical sock blank, so it's naturally dyed, and it's double-stranded. It says, wind 2 identical balls for 2 identical socks, or knit straight from the blank for all sorts of projects. 75% merino, 25% nylon, and it's 4-ply, so it's going to make some pretty socks. I love that label too. How pretty is that? Such beautiful, delicate colours. So I'll definitely be knitting some socks with it. I think they're going to be absolutely beautiful. Hello. So that was a very lovely purchase. I've also been thinking about dressmaking for quite a while now, and there's lots of inspiration out there. And I watch Katie inside number 23, who I adore, and she's such an inspiration. And I don't know if you've watched her latest podcast, but she announced that she is now working at Tilly and the Buttons, which I think is the perfect job for her. I think she's going to go a long way, and I think she's going to be designing patterns before long. So well done, Katie. I'm so pleased for you. And anyway, before I knew that, it was just a sideline. I bought this book, Love at First Stitch by Tilly Wales. Not sure how you say that surname. Because I really want to have a go at making my own clothes. I don't know why, I've got a block against it. I remember when I started this podcast, probably a year ago, and I'd bought some fabric and I'd washed the fabric and I'd cut the pattern pieces out. I still have not got round to making that top. I've also bought some lovely stripe jersey, cotton jersey, to make some long sleeve stripy tops, which I love. Oh, but it's some blockage in my brain that is terrified of getting it wrong. And I always think when you go to the shops and you want to buy, let's say, we'll just say a dress, you take 5, 6 dresses in, you try them on, one might fit and you might like it. Well, you're only going to make one dress at a time. What if you don't like that one dress? I don't want a 20% chance that I'm going to like it. But then I guess you can make things to fit, because in knitting you make things to fit, don't you, by having less stitches or more stitches. You can make it longer or shorter. So I'm going to try and get in my head that it's kind of like knitting but faster, so that's a good thing. So anyway, I purchased this book for myself, and there's a few things in here I'd like to make, but she has some lovely pyjama bottoms which look simple. I won't be able to find it now, will I? There are some lovely pyjama bottoms in here, so I'm going to try really hard. I'm not quite sure when, because at the moment I'm really involved in advent calendar bags. I've set myself a goal of making a certain amount every week, and because of my back I am a little bit behind, so I really need to get a few more made before the weekend so that next week I can start kind of up to date, and I'll feel better about it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe soon, we'll see. I really want to have a go at dressmaking. I've also purchased this pattern from my gorgeous friend Amy, who is the Little Tailoress. And this is the Emmeline tee. And there's 3 different versions, and it talks you through it. Amy talks you through if you're using woven fabric or jersey fabric. And everything that Amy does is just perfection. It's such a beautiful pattern. It comes in its own like little folder with Velcro closures, and it comes with a book. Here's the book with loads of instructions. I mean, that's an amazing amount of instructions for a top. So I'm really, oh, it's glowing, isn't it? So I'm really, really looking forward to having a go at that. And also, I know if I have an issue, I can just get hold of Amy and say, Amy, help! And she would. And the pattern is on really, it's like brown paper rather than, oh no, I'm never going to get this back in, Amy. Oh no, I'm terrible. Oh. Magic! So that is incredible. I love this. On the side it's got, I don't know if you can see, number 1. Yay! So there's going to be more. So isn't that amazing? Oh, it really doesn't want to focus, but so you can put them on your shelf and you'll be able to see this is number 1, Emmeline tee by the Little Tailoress, and she made it in 2014. I think that is just a really stylish packaging. I love a bit of nice packaging. It's such pretty blue as well. So Amy, you are a genius. I call her my sparkly fairy princess because she is. Okay, so is that all of my purchases? Yes, it is. Oh, I forgot to show you something. Pete and I are going away this weekend. It's our wedding anniversary. Let me get a copy. 26 years. I think that's pretty good going. Anyway, I wanted some nice easy knitting for the car and just in the evenings. Whoops. So I have dug out my beautiful stray cat sock yarn. I bought these a while ago, the beginning of the year, I think. How pretty is that? Such beautiful colours. Peach and cream and a soft sage green and a violet and purple. And this colourway is called Sweet Pea, I think. Yep, Sweet Pea. There we go. And I'm using this colour for the heels and cuffs probably. I haven't quite decided. So they are going to be my weekend knitting, and I love self-striping yarn. I'm just going to do a basic pair of socks, whirlwind toe, fish lips kiss heel, 64 stitches on 2.25 needles. And this is in my gorgeous Maker's Haven bag. Lovely amber. So pretty. So, so pretty. Let me open it up so you can see it a bit better. Isn't that cute? These lovely fabrics. Oh, I love amber. Yeah, so that's that. Bit out of place, but never mind. I'm going to have a quick drink of coffee. Yeah, so Pete and I are going off to Tewkesbury for the weekend. I think it's only kind of maybe 2 hours away from us. So that will be lovely. I think it's an old, I don't know much about it yet, to be honest, but I think it's a kind of old market town, so it'll be pretty, I'm sure. How cute is that? Okay, I have something super exciting to share with you. My dear friend Antonella, who is now, she's recently changed her name. Let me just double check. She used to be Antonella Bakes, and now she's Cozy Posy Yarn Co, which is lovely. Isn't that such a snuggly name? You feel it's like sit down and knit with a hot chocolate with your Cozy Posy Yarn Company yarn. Anyway, she is just starting her own yarn dyeing business, and I, for one, am so thrilled. She has lovely taste, her colours are beautiful, and she opens her shop on Etsy this Sunday, which I believe is the 6th. Let me just double check that. Yes, so she opens her shop this Sunday, the 6th of August, and she's in Canada, so well, I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? But she's in Canada. Anyway, she contacted me. Well, say she contacted me. We chat nearly every day. She asked me if I would like to try some of her yarn and knit something so I could kind of give her feedback and everything. And I was like, oh my God, I would absolutely love to do that. So she said, choose a pattern and then I'll dye the yarn for you. I found a lovely pattern. I don't think I've got it here, but it's the door sweater. So I'll put a picture here. It's a really lovely kind of flowy sweater, and I love the splits at the sides. You can wear a lovely long vest underneath, and it's just nice and simple, streamlined, and just lovely. Anyway, she asked me to choose which colour yarn I'd like, and I love her. I love so many of her colours. I think one of them is called Rose Petals or Petals. That was really pretty, but I went for Strawberry Wine. Oh my goodness. Just look. Is that not the most beautiful colours you've ever seen in your life? Look at her label. How gorgeous is that? That is the sweetest label. And the colours are absolutely divine. Let me see if I can get a nice close-up. Oh, how beautiful is that? Those colours. It's a little bit more peachy, actually, than it's showing up. Oh my goodness, it is so lovely. And it's got, let me tell you some of the colours, kind of pale rose hip and pink, like crushed strawberries and raspberries. And then there's like apricot. And it's like slightly darker, like inside a peach. And it's kind of a bit lilac-y and plummy almost up here. So it's so, I can't tell you how much I love it. And I know Antonella gave this to me to knit something with, and she's my friend. And so I'm not going to say anything bad, but I can honestly say, hand on heart, this is so up my street and so beautiful. And it's so soft. This is her, because I am a bit of a fairy princess with my skin. This is her Cozy Classic, which is 100% superwash, 19.5 micron merino. The micron thing I don't really know anything about that, but I think the higher the micron, the softer it is. That might not be correct. And it's her 4-ply fingering weight. And this is her Strawberry Wine colourway, and it is so beautifully soft. So she dyed this especially for me, the fairy princess, and she sent me 4 skeins. Oh my goodness. Honestly, this makes me squeal with happiness so much. How lucky am I? I'm lucky to call her my friend in the first place. But look at that. That is going to make the most beautiful sweater. Oh my goodness. That is just perfection. So I have 4 skeins of this and I shall be knitting the door sweater. But not only that, she sent me one of her tote bags, which she's also going to be stocking in her shop. It's so cute. Look at this. I'm going to go back a bit. How adorable is that? And I just put the little handles together and hang it on a little hook, and it's so brilliant and so pretty. She uses the loveliest fabrics. These ones are all Tilda. Let me see if I can get nice close. These fabrics for this bag are Tilda. Just beautiful. And she dyed, this is dyed with, the inside lining's dyed with avocado, I think. And it has a cute little pocket, beautifully made. Actually, 2 pockets. It's beautifully made. And the straps are slightly different. Oh, it's just unusual and cute, and it's very Antonella, and I love that. So that was so exciting. But not only did she send all of that lovely goodness to me, she sent this for you. Now this is the same colourway, but on a slightly different base. Oh my goodness, how utterly beautiful is that? I really can't get over it. I think these colours must speak to my heart because I love them. So I'm going to be giving this away thanks to lovely Antonella. Look, there's her label again. There's her cute label. This one's got little socks. It's Dream in Wool. Cozy Posy Yarn Co. Dream in Wool. So cute. So I'm going to be giving this away to one very lucky winner. I'll open a thread in Ravelry, and okay, the question. Okay, the question will be, what little thing made you happy today? Or what little thing did you do to make somebody else happy today? Yeah, that's good. I like that. So you will have until my next podcast, which I'm hoping will be in about 2 weeks, give or take, and I will draw with random number generator, and one lucky knitter will get this, which is Strawberry Wine in her cozy sock, which is 80% machine washable certified organic merino and 20% nylon. It's 115 grams, gosh, 384 metres, 420 yards, and it's a 3-ply fingering weight. Wow, so this is organic. Oh, that is even lovelier. Someone is in for such an amazing treat. Ah, so pretty, so pretty. So that was super exciting. Just a bit of chatter. Well, I don't think I've got that much left. I think I should scrap this section because I seem to chatter the whole way through my podcast. Have I got anything to chatter about that I've not already chatted about? Oh, poor Mabel. She was a bit poorly. Was it last week, I think? She was just really... Oh, that's right. When I podcasted last, I said that Mabel was asleep on the sofa in my sewing room. And I said that was really unusual because we hadn't been for a walk. She didn't want to go for a walk. And then she just seemed very lethargic, a bit shaky, and her fur, I think she had a temperature because her fur kept, you know when you have goosebumps and your hairs stick up, it was like that, and she kept going all fuzzy where she obviously had goosebumps and she had a temperature. She wasn't eating and she was just really droopy and sad, so we took her to the vets and they think it was just a bug, but they gave her an injection to take her temperature down and to make her more comfortable. And 2 or 3 days later, she was right as rain. But oh, she was poorly, poor Papa. It's so sad because you don't know what's wrong with them. But she's completely better now, and as cheeky as ever. It's her birthday soon. In 2 weeks, it's her birthday, and I've ordered her a really plush, lovely bed. It's like, I think it's called a snuggle sack, maybe, and it's a big square cushion with fur on the top, like a lovely furry layer, and then kind of a flap which is also stitched on the top, and that's lined with fur as well. So it's like a pocket for her to get in. So I think she'll love that. So she just loves anything furry and warm and snuggly. She's always trying to bury herself under cushions. So that's going to be her birthday present. Shop news. Well, I have to say thank you so much. When I came up with the idea of my advent calendars, I wasn't sure because I'd only seen yarn ones before, and I wasn't sure if it was something that was going to be popular or interesting to people. And so I took a bit of a chance on it and ordered lots of lovely things and ready to make everything. And I listed them in my shop last Friday. Some of them, I've been doing it in batches. And I was so overwhelmed with the response. They all sold out, I think, within a minute, the first 16, I think. And then I listed another 14 yesterday, and they all sold out. Not quite as quick, so I was really pleased about that because it gave people with maybe slow internet a better chance, and people didn't have to rush quite so much. I think that lasted about 5 minutes. And I have a few more listings to add to my shop this week, so I'm just going to pop them in really whenever I have a free moment or when I just fancy doing it. So all different times, but after Thursday evening, that's it. There won't be any more. I don't even know if they're going to be Thursday evening, but that's kind of the cut-off point because I'm going away on Friday and I want to have all the orders sorted by then. And so I have a lot of work to do. It's going to be a labour of love. It already has been actually, but so far I'm really enjoying it. And I've had so many lovely messages saying thank you for doing all the hard work and just putting this together. So I was really quite emotional about it. So thank you so much if you bought one. Thank you so much if you're going to buy one, and just thank you for your interest because it means the world to me, and I want to carry on making lovely things, and I just enjoy it. So thank you so much for that. As far as shop news goes, I'm hoping to have a small shop update on the 25th of August, which is the last Friday of August. It's not definite, but I'm definitely have started thinking about what I want to make. Hopefully there'll be some strawberry bags and hopefully some strawberry stitch markers. And also I've been working on something new, still a bag. I stumbled across these very cute images on Pinterest. In fact, I've had them pinned probably for a few years. Something was very appealing about them. I do love a bit of cutesy. And I thought, oh, how gorgeous would they be embroidered onto bag fronts? Obviously, someone else's images. So I tracked these images down to a lady called Selena Bailey, who has a gorgeous blog. I think it's lots of photography and lifestyle. It's that kind of blog. And she's also on Instagram as Selena Bailey. And I messaged her to say, I've stumbled across your lovely images and I would love permission to use them in some bag making because it was written on the post that they were for personal use only. And she got back to me. She's so lovely. And she said, of course you can. So yes, so here is one of the designs that I'm going to be turning into a bag. I'm going to see if I can get you a close-up. So this is a little sleepy bear. Oh, isn't it cute? And I've just hand embroidered it all, and he has a little felt nose which has yet to be stitched on properly. He's so cute, isn't he? So I just hand embroidered his face, and he's got a little felt nose which I need to stitch on properly, so he's just stuck on at the moment with some Bondo web. I think it's going to make the cutest bag. And I've got a couple of other designs that I'm working on, and this fabric is gorgeous. It's a vintage French piece of linen. I don't know if it was sheeting, but it's beautiful. It's quite uneven, and in places it's got darning and obviously where it's worn through, and it's so lovely. So when I do have these in my shop, I will be using all of the fabric with the little darning and mendings of the past in them, because I think that really adds just something special and handmade to it. So you might have some darning in yours, or it just looks like it has character. I don't know if it really shows up on the camera, but it's got some lovely texture, and there's also a couple of embroidered initials, so I'll be using it all, and that's really exciting because I think they are so cute, and I'm going to struggle to part with them, and I have lots of other ideas of my own with those. Is that everything? I think it is. So I'm off for the weekend. I'm going to edit this podcast possibly this afternoon, but I have some work to do, some sewing. And yeah, I've got a busy time until I go away, but that's fine because when we go away it'll be nice and relaxing, hopefully lots of coffee and cake, lots of poodling about and just having fun together. Anyway, so I wish you a really, really lovely time until I see you next. Okay, bye.